So I finally got around to seeing The Watchers, which I know has been out for a few weeks now, but I finally got around to watching it. And it's directed by Ashana Night Shyamalan, who is the daughter of M. Night Shyamalan. This is her directorial debut, and I think she worked with her daddy on Ode, which is a movie that I thought was okay at best. But this is her first hand by herself without her daddy, though I think her daddy's handprints are all over it. He definitely had a hand in it. But basically, the plot of the movie is Dakota Fanning's character. She gets lost in the wood trying to deliver a pet, and then she comes across three other individuals that are just stuck in the woods and have to please these creatures. They cannot leave, or else they will die. Now, how did I feel about this movie? I mean, I liked it, but didn't quite love it. If anything, I was really enjoying the first half of the first two acts, I should say. I enjoyed the first two acts of the movie, and then the third act, that's when it kind of fell off for me. And I'll be honest, I kind of fell asleep doing that third act, and that's never really a good sign. Granted, I was a little tired at the time when I saw this movie, but still, a good movie should still hold your attention, and this movie just didn't hold my attention during the third act. Now, maybe I might change my tune after I watch it again, but still, the movie overall, from what I gathered, just wasn't that good. To be fair, like I said, the first two acts was engaging. I mean, it had a really good plot, but not so good execution. And the third act is really was where it all fell apart. However, I do not think that that is a knock on the Shyamalan because clearly she is a talented filmmaker. I mean, she was basically trained under the tutelage of her own daddy, so but at the same time, she also has her daddy's worst tendencies as a filmmaker. And I just hope that she gets to do more films by herself and she kind of gets to stray away from that. I just hope that she really comes into her own as a filmmaker and hopefully surpass her own dad and not carry some of his own tendencies. And, well, she might have her own little tendencies that are not her dad's, but still. I did enjoy the atmosphere and the filmmaking that was on display here. Let me make that very clear. It's very haunting, chilling, and you don't know what's going to happen. I thought Dakota Fanning was really good in this. In fact, shout out to her for actually working with a Shyamalan because I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of people that's willing to work with a Shyamalan, but she's one of those people. Granted, she's kind of having a bit of a renaissance in her adult life as an actress, and I say this was a nice little project for her to do. And then there's Georgia Campbell, who's also in this movie, and I'm glad that she's getting more work after being in the movie Barbarian, which came out 2 years ago. She's a great actress, and I want to see her more work, and she was fine in here. There's also the guy that was in this movie, and he was fine, not really all that memorable. There's also the old lady that was in this film, and she's basically there just to drive the plot forward. She explains everything, so she's basically I guess, the exposition dump lady. But what they do with her character later in the film, that's where it all kind of falls apart, though. Like I said, overall, I enjoyed the concept, but the execution just could have been a little bit better. I'm curious to see what Ashana Night Shyamalan does next, and hopefully it's better than this. And that's why I give The Watchers the shoulder shrug emoji.